Hello, I'm Polly Sayer and welcome to the SheerLuxe Show. We have a really great show for you today with a double dose of Charlotte. First up, she delves deep into the incredible wardrobe of Nell Diamond, the founder of Hill House Home, and then she chats to the wildly successful entrepreneur Grace Beverley. But first, let me welcome our gorgeous guests. I'm joined by Peloton instructor and breast cancer survivor Leanne Hainsby-Alldis and model and florist Kasia Chinery.
Hey.
Ladies,
Hi.
both looking absolutely gorgeous today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, very stylish, and I feel like kind of like tonal between the two of you. I've seen a bit of burgundy in Leanne's top, and yeah. So let's chat a little bit about dressing up, but for the Halloween variety.
This
you
is
guys,
so great.
I
honestly love Halloween, so the fact that we're starting with this is like
a bit of you. You're excited.
Bit of me.
Love it. Kasia, are you a
I'm
girly?
I'm not going to dress up. I'm into doing it around the house. I bought like little weird pumpkins and stuff, but I'm going to dress up my dog. I've got an old sheet that I ripped by accident, so I'm going to put it over him and then cut out the eyes. But I don't know if he's going to be up for it, but I'm up for it.
Anyway, Leanne, we're going to go in with some deep stuff now.
Let's do it.
You are a pretty incredible role model. You were diagnosed with triple positive breast cancer in August 2022 and continue to teach 3 or 4 Peloton classes a week throughout your 12-week course of chemotherapy, which is pretty inspiring stuff. Thankfully, you were given the all clear at your 3-month checkup, and you've now stopped the course of Herceptin and Zoladex and are now only taking maintenance medication. Is that right?
Yes. Well done. All those names.
All those words. I mean, I was like, God, these guys are challenging me today.
No, they're words that I am so used to now. But yes, I did carry on teaching my classes during my chemotherapy. It's so important to do as many things as you can that keep you feeling like you. And so teaching a Peloton class for me is an hour out of my day. And when I was going through my chemo, I didn't have endless energy, but I could say, I'm going to use my energy today in this moment that's going to bring me joy, it's going to make me feel like me, and it's going to help other people. I didn't actually share that I was going through chemo or that I had breast cancer to the Peloton community until I'd finished my treatment. So I wasn't being treated like a cancer patient when I went to work, which was really important to me. I'm pleased I did it like that. It kept something for me. And I was given the kind of all clear at my 3-month check-in. And then those other kind of the Herceptin and the Zoladex are part of maintenance treatment as well, which is I did chemotherapy, surgery, radiotherapy, the whole kind of shebang. That's done for me, so I feel like I'm, really moving onwards with the journey, which is good.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I suppose a lot of people think once you're done with the chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and you're cancer free, that's the story done. But obviously, you're still kind of doing things in your life to, keep that at bay, and it's still affecting you. I'm sure you're feeling much more positive, but
exactly that. A year after I'd been diagnosed, so I'd finished my treatment about 6 months prior. I did the cover of Women's Health, which was like such a big deal anyway. But, I definitely didn't feel that confident when I was going through my treatment. One of the biggest things I said during that was that when it's over, it's not over. Like so many people would say to me, oh, it's great, you finish your treatment, it's like you're back to normal. But for many cancer survivors, life is just beginning. Like everything is different. You're now, I think when you're going through your treatment, you're so focused, you almost don't give yourself time to think about what's going on. One of my sister's friends, she had breast cancer, and she said, I will really be there for Leanne when it's done. And I thought, God, that's going to be the easy, when it's done, I can move on. But this is the bit that I like to really advocate for, because it's mentally, it's where the work really starts.
Right, okay. So that's a good tip for anyone supporting someone going through breast cancer treatment, to not forget about checking in after you're finished.
Exactly that. And, I've got a few tips actually, if I can, share them for anyone that's, either going through treatment or finished their treatment and now they're in this really blurry stage of what does life look like after cancer treatment. And you've got to be really kind with yourself when you just finish your treatment, because everything is new and you really will be redefining what fun looks like, because everything is different, and that's okay. It's like you've got to take your time with it. There's a few little things that happen that no one really talks about. So I had a lumpectomy and I had lymph node removal. And that meant that I really struggled to lift my arm above my head because I had something called cording, which is this like auxiliary web syndrome where basically some of the cords under your arm just get really stuck and tight. And I was just like, I'm broken, I can't lift my arm up. But when I shared that on social media, there were so many women that were like, I have the same thing, I never knew. And one of the big things for me, I used something called a cold cap, which helped me to hold on to half of my hair. It's like it goes down to -20 and you pull it really tight on your head. And I mean, it doesn't look great, but it doesn't matter because you want to keep your hair. And the best success rate is that you lose half and you keep half, which is exactly what happened to me. But so many people told me before to cut my hair really short and thin my hair so that it would work better.
Right.
But I thought, why would you do that? Because if you do hold on to your hair, you want to feel like you.
Okay.
But so many women end up cutting their hair really short and not liking how they look, and then they don't lose as much as they thought they were going to, and then they don't feel like themselves anyway. So I think that's a nice little tip to kind of know your body, know what you want, be confident with that. If we're being super honest here, life in the bedroom is really different because of your maintenance drugs and what that's doing to your hormones, physically to your body. And again, you think, well, once it's done, and we all go back to normal. But things just take time. Like there is a life after cancer where you're building yourself up, and these things take time. I think it's good to talk about this time so that people feel less alone. I'm still just a woman who in my mid-30s got diagnosed with breast cancer, and life just ended up looking really different. It's really important for men and women that are going through breast cancer treatment to know that in the beginning it is so overwhelming. So you'll be diagnosed by a consultant, then you'll move on to an oncologist and they'll give you your treatment plan. And there's all these words and it's so overwhelming. You have to find a way to break it down so that you've got small things that you can focus on. It's like one step at a time. And then things that just really feel so big in the beginning, like one of the first things I said was, I don't want to lose my hair. But then when you get into your treatment, that becomes so irrelevant. It's like, if losing my hair is going to get me healthy, let's get rid of it. Looking at everything as a whole is so overwhelming. Break it down, and then everything becomes a small win. When you get through one part of the treatment, it's a small win. And things that felt like a big deal might seem a little bit smaller. And then that can just keep you feeling positive. Just really recognising small things. I'd go for a walk with my dog and be like, wow, don't the trees look amazing? If you can stay present and really recognise, that the small things are the big things, then it's just a lot easier on the mental health.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I feel quite emotional listening to that.
That's amazing.
It's really inspiring, isn't it? And positivity is something that we can all learn from, whether we're going through cancer treatment or not. Well, what an incredible attitude and a really powerful thing to have been able to help other people. So thank you. I hope that helps somebody watching. I'm sure it has helped many. Sending love and strength to anyone watching this who is on that journey. Next up, let's see what treasures Charlotte finds when she takes the tour of Nell Diamond's wardrobe in her beautiful Manhattan home.
On today's SheerLuxe podcast, I'm joined by Maya Lucky and Hannah Cooper. First up, we are talking all things Halloween and whether you're into it or not.
You're having a conversation with a ghost, for example, and it was Louis Theroux. Like, the guest
and it's just
list
casual.
is so casual.
The Gen Z trend that Hannah has discovered.
Ryan Reynolds. I'd also say my husband. Which goes into like baby girl, which I'm never going to call him baby girl.
Which leads us on to what gives you the biggest ick. Maya's is very niche. fetish?
A naked man getting into a hot bar is probably one of them.
Lastly, we talked through this week's dilemmas. What to do if your best friend is copying your outfits?
Right, are we in therapy right now? Who got the brown suede boots first?
Where to get the best high street knitwear? I have to say, I did actually
agree.
buy a short-sleeved knit from
You heard it here. Now just copy me.
Make sure you don't miss it. It's a goodie.
I'm here with Nell Diamond, founder, CEO of Hill House Home. Hi.
Hi, thanks for coming over.
I mean, thanks for having me in your house.
Yeah.
I love getting to go into other people's wardrobes, so like this is the dream.
Oh, good, good.
I can't wait to delve into what's going on in here. Just really quickly, tell me about your approach to fashion. What is it?
I am a big fashion lover. I have been since I was really little. I just love clothes. That's like my overarching statement, but anything girly, anything feminine, anything with a little bit of frill, a little bit of sparkle. I like my clothes to really make a statement.
Okay, do you know what, let's just go straight in. I just
Okay.
want to show me some of your favorite things
Okay.
in this amazing wardrobe.
Okay, I think I'm gonna start over here. This is my fancy closet.
Yeah.
This is where I keep like some of my favorite, craziest things.
Amazing.
So, okay, this is
Yeah, talk
actually
me
one
through
of
some
my
of this.
favorites. So this is my older brother's wedding.
Okay.
It's from my favorite era of Dior. It's Galliano. And I love it because it's like a naked dress.
Yeah,
And then it has this amazing kind of sequin, and Galliano just does the most insane bias cuts.
That is the cut of that
It's
is
like
so
crazy.
perfect.
Yeah, it just like skims your body. And actually my mom and I share a lot of clothing, so this is a shared piece.
The dream.
I'm a little nervous she's gonna see this and be like, excuse me, let's go back uptown.
Are these all evening dresses?
These are all evening dresses. This is another really fun one that I love so much.
Oh
This
my
is
gosh, look at
Alessandro Michele Gucci. You can see it's been worn because it's missing a flower that I have to sew back on. I bought it originally because I thought this would kind of hide a bump. I
Yeah.
had no idea what being pregnant was like. This does not hide
Like,
a
this
bump at all.
looks like it.
Yeah, I'm like,
Sure.
sure, be fine. And then meanwhile, it's like got a corset.
Okay.
But I'm obsessed with
Yeah,
this
it's beautiful.
embroidery. And I actually have worn this quite a bit. I wore it to a wedding in Venice that I went to in June, and I can always find an excuse to wear it.
Yeah, it's so fun.
I mean, this is like my dream.
I mean, I think I can answer it just from looking at this wardrobe. But what is it you're looking for evening wear?
Color,
Yeah.
like extra. I want to be extra. I want to be fun. I always say that it's like the greatest gift to your friends to dress up for their events and dress up for their like weddings. And my best friend Isabel and I have this joke that like I've never looked at a dress code in my life because I basically just go like the most fancy you could ever go.
What's this amazing, this
Okay,
peach
so
colours
this is
bad
another
boy?
Dior skirt. So it's like a ball gown skirt and it has another little corset. I love a waist moment
That's
always.
amazing, yeah.
Like this Hill House dress I'm wearing, I always like to have a little waist moment.
Mm-hmm.
I just find it like makes me feel more secure. And I wore this in Architectural Digest when they did a piece on this house
Mm-hmm.
in 2017 or 2018. So that's really fun.
What do you wear when you're hanging out at home?
I wear nap dresses. So nap dress is something that we created at Hill House. It basically means any dress that has this smocking. So this is our proprietary smocking. It stretches with you. Like when I was pregnant with twins and like out to here, it stretched with me. I wore my
Better
same
than
size.
the Gucci.
Better
Yeah.
than the Gucci, better than the Dior. And they're just the most comfortable, practical dresses. We make them in 56 different styles.
56?
A
Wow.
million different fabrics and
Yeah.
prints. So this is one we just came out with called the Scarlet. It's just like a super soft cotton.
Gorgeous.
Like,
Yeah.
nice.
What else?
Okay, so more things that I have for you. This is a really fun piece. So I grew up in London. My mom
Oh my God, that's
used to shop at Catherine Walker. That was where she
Yes,
had all of
okay.
her clothing made, basically. And this is a Catherine Walker gown from the 90s that she saved.
Wow.
It's truly like a work of art.
That's absolutely beautiful.
Backless.
That is gorgeous.
And I just think this print is magnificent. It's a high neck. I wore this. I went to the Met Gala for the first time this year, which was a dream. We made a custom Hill House dress. So I worked with the Hill House team to create something inspired by my favorite painting, which is Flaming June. There were a bunch of like pre-Met Gala parties in New York, and so I wore this because I thought the colors were really similar to my gown I was wearing, and then the theme last year was the Garden of Time.
how great to be able to rewear something as well for those kind of
This is
occasions.
actually another Catherine Walker one that is so pretty.
Gorgeous.
Like with the rope
Yeah,
and a little
amazing.
corset inside. It's just so beautiful.
How often are you getting dressed up and using this part of your closet?
I will find ways to dress up as much as possible because it just makes me happy. It makes me feel so excited and creative, and I'll always find an excuse.
Love that.
So I'm a big jackets person because throughout the colder months I can just like throw a jacket over a dress and make it look seasonally appropriate. So these are two of my favorite jackets. This one I found, you can tell I have a Dior thing. I found this at a vintage shop in Paris this spring. It's not like super tight, so you can fit it over a dress, and I just think it's so fun.
That's beautiful.
And then, I mean, you can't go wrong with the
most fun.
Chanel tweed. And I love this one because this is actually a navy blue. It kind of looks black from afar. Again, this is the sort of thing that I think I'll pass along to my daughter.
I see buy another pink Chanel in there as well.
Yeah. My husband saw this one and he was like,
Oh,
you already have a pink Chanel jacket. And I was like, that's rude. Why would you say that? But this one's so
gorgeous
different.
with the detailing. It's so pretty.
I love this one. It's got a bit of sparkle.
Yes. What's this gold number that's
that's
sticking
actually what
out?
I'll show you. So it's a Chanel dress. Unfortunately, I was recently told it's not a dress, it's a jacket, but I wore it as a dress.
I mean, also rude.
So rude.
So rude.
So I wore this when I graduated from business school almost 10 years ago. It was a really, really fun, we went to Mr. Chow downtown. And it's just, I mean,
God, even the inside is incredible.
Yeah, and I love the structured shoulder. And this is another jacket that I kind of love putting over dresses. So this is Raf Simons Dior era. Again, I love embroidery.
Do you shop online? Do you shop abroad more than at home? Kind of what's your shopping habit like?
I like to shop in London the most. I think mostly because that's where I grew up shopping, but also because I think the collection in London, the curation is just a bit more my style. This I actually bought in London probably in 2006.
Okay.
I wore this in high school. This is a Gucci dress.
That's stunning. I love the shape. Wow.
It's so fun.
What are the feathers down the other end?
Feathers, yeah, I love feathers. So one of my best friends is a designer, Prabal Gurung, in New York, and I've been collecting his pieces for a long time, and this is a jacket of his. Everyone's gonna laugh at me for this, but this is like the most versatile piece.
but what is versatile to one is, not to others.
Because it's sometimes when things are so crazy, you can actually kind of wear them with anything.
Yeah, sure.
This is Catherine Walker.
Wow, it's giving Kate Middleton.
So Kate Middleton.
Beautiful.
I know, yeah, I really love this. I actually just got this from Catherine Walker. I just went back when I was there this spring. But this is a really good jacket to wear over dresses. So.
What's the most sentimental piece in your wardrobe?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I got married 10 years ago on Friday.
Yes, happy anniversary.
Thank you. So I don't have my wedding dress, but I do have a dress that I wore the morning of my wedding. And this is an Alessandra Rich dress. And I actually dove off a diving board into the sea in this dress.
Sure. Where did you get married?
I got married in the south of France.
Okay, but the dress survived.
It survived. I could wear it again. I mean, good for Alessandra Rich.
What's your favorite item right now? Anything that you're going to loads at the moment?
I mean, I'm such a big fan of what Chloe's doing right now. So I've been loving their lace tops.
Gorgeous, yeah.
I've been going for this black lace top a lot. Actually, I have, this is actually my non-Hill House closet, and then I have my Hill House closet.
I was going to say, where is the Hill House? Okay, let's look at the Hill House closet. Let's move on over.
So, I mean, we started here with these like really, I used to call them Victorian ghosts. It was like what you would imagine, like a Victorian ghost, like going around a castle who was like haunting her children.
Jane Eyre vibes.
Jane Eyre, yeah. And now we've evolved into like a fully fledged fashion brand. So that's been really fun, and I think it's always been important to me to continue wearing other brands with Hill House. Well, I wore this to the Glamour Women of the Year Awards last week. This is a brocade dress. This is our Matilda.
Gosh.
But like this goes black tie, so I wore it like with really fun jewelry.
Love.
And then what I was gonna tell you with my Chloe top that I've been wearing nonstop. So these are my favorite skirts in the world, these mini skirts. We make them in a couple different colors. We make them in these sets, so they have a matching little jacket, and they're so cute. And I've been wearing like the little lacy black Chloe tops underneath them.
Sweet, I love that look.
And then we have them, I mean, we're so into matching sets. So we have like this color too, which is really fun. And then
What's the tartan?
The tartan's really fun.
Oh
so we
my
just launched tartan yesterday.
I would say it's giving like New York 90s Thanksgiving movie. I love it.
Yeah, or like Clueless.
Yeah, obsessed.
And I love this with pants or over a dress or something. It's got like a nice little shape. It's good for like the corporate girlies.
I'm gonna have to ask you about the shoes.
Let's go in the
shoe
shoes.
time. I'm obsessed. Can we talk about the bags first of all?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, well, hang on. First of all, this.
It's amazing.
I mean, is this Judith Lieber?
Yeah, Judith Lieber.
That is so stunning. So there's room for like a lip gloss in there.
One lip gloss, I think a lip gloss, a concealer, and then like maybe a little mirror.
And like, sorry, this.
Isn't that
Oh
cute?
my God,
I actually got that at Harrods. I love it
is
so much.
insane. I'm obsessed.
So I'm obsessed with little basket bags.
Yeah.
So my parents grew up going, or my dad's family is from Nantucket Island.
Yeah.
And that's where I grew up going in the summers. And so Nantucket is known for these Nantucket baskets, which are handmade by artisans on the island.
Sweet.
And
That's
they,
gorgeous.
like, this is this amazing little octopus, and then it has my name inside too.
cute.
So this was like the Celine version of a Nantucket basket.
So similar.
So similar.
I love that. Wow.
That's really cute.
Amazing. What is your most, let's do bags while we're here. What bag do you use the most?
Oh, this is really practical.
Oh my God, she's so gorgeous. I can't.
This is one of my most used bags.
Oh, wow, heavy.
Heavy, yeah.
Heavy.
But I love, love, love little Chanel bags.
Yeah.
Who doesn't? And I love the colors of this one. And again, it's like almost when you go a little crazier with the colors, it goes with a lot more.
For sure. Sweet.
Like this one.
Oh my God,
It's a
amazing.
little
The
Fendi
Fendi.
guy. And then this fits absolutely nothing.
If you could only pass one of these down to your daughter, which one would it be?
Oh my gosh, that's a good
a hard
question. This is a Lady Dior bag that has a drawing on it by Nikki de St. Phal.
Fun.
And I love, love, love.
Yeah, so
this
fun.
thing.
Oh,
The
stop.
mummy and the baby.
Oh my God, obsessed.
Little Chanel people.
That is amazing.
So these are like winter
Yeah.
Chanel bags. I think this is vintage of my mom's. There's like an old velvet
Beautiful.
Chanel.
Yeah.
And then this up here, which I'm gonna climb. This is a Ralph Lauren evening clutch of my mom's.
That's amazing.
Probably from the 90s, I would guess.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
really fun.
the most beautiful bags don't have room for much, do they? But yeah, that is gorgeous.
Exactly.
Okay, talk to me about these shoes as well. These are,
yeah, I
mean,
love shoes.
there's a lot happening here. What's the pair that you're wearing the most at the moment?
These are amazing. These are Giuseppe
beautiful.
Zanotti, and I love this burgundy color, so I've been wearing those a lot
Yeah.
recently. I've been wearing these Dolce ones a lot recently.
They're
I just think
amazing.
the
Wow.
colors are really good.
Yeah.
I'm a platform
Yes.
person. Everything I wear is
I
platforms.
mean, you've got to, I need to know about
Yeah.
these. Well, and these.
Yeah, so these are insane. I wore these to the Taylor Swift concert in Paris. These are John Battista.
They're insane.
I wore them with a little sparkle mini skirt that I found on Farfetch. I don't even know the brand. And then a fun little Hill House like black top and a furry jacket.
Tell me about these.
So these are
they're amazing.
Prada platforms that
Yeah.
are secretly the most comfortable shoe in the
Okay,
world.
fascinating.
We actually make a Hill House platform that I'll show you in a minute that was inspired by the Prada platform shape.
Okay.
And it's just like you can last kind of all night in it.
Yeah.
And then another really fun shoe. So this I've had for literally over 15 years. These are Dolce shoes with this amazing like brocade on them.
Nice.
So these are all of our Hill House
I mean,
platforms.
so fun.
It's all the exact same shape, and we do them in like different colors and styles at a really good price point. But they're meant to be durable. They're meant to be like really great, fun shoes that you can last all night in, and they are shockingly comfortable.
I mean, these are amazing.
Yeah, I love them.
Can you show me a coat?
Yeah. Okay. This is a crazy Elias suede coat that my mom and I are sharing.
It seems to be benefiting you really well.
It really is. I am obsessed
Oh my
with
God,
it.
that's
It's so
amazing.
heavy and so extra, but I really love it. It's like a
Obsessed.
cropped suede.
Okay, final question. Outside of this, can you show me one thing that you're really excited to wear this season?
Yes. So this is another Catherine Walker jacket that I'm super excited to wear this season over dresses. It actually comes with like a removable little faux collar.
Cute.
And I'm really excited. I love like powder blue for winter with like lots of white. So I can't wait to wear this. I just got it.
Thanks so much.
Yeah,
I
thank
could
you.
stay and play in here all day. Thank you so much, Nell.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Wow, how absolutely mega, pretty insane wardrobe. I'm quite jealous. Right, next up, some little treat culture. I filmed a TikTok last week in the office about little rituals you do to treat yourself. It was quite wholesome content.
Yeah.
I like
so
that.
I thought I'd bring it to the sofa as well because it's quite a nice chat. So what I want to know is, like, what little treat rituals do you do for yourself to give yourself a boost of instant happiness? Kasia?
I love candles. I love candles. Everyone loves candles. We all love candles. And especially this time of year when it gets dark early, it's witchy season. But with my obsession with candles, I can't be doing your diptychs, your Jo Malones, because I just go through them so quickly.
Yeah.
So I'm on the hunt to find some good, affordable alternatives. So I've got 2 that are really good. M&S, it's called Restore Candle.
Oh, yeah.
So this really lovely geranium scent. The actual candle was really nice, just dark, very nondescript. And then one from Habitat, which is £12.
Gosh.
Lasts for ages. They're amazing.
Yeah, I always
That is
say
my
like,
picking up.
you know, when people are like, "Oh, you're so hard to buy for at Christmas and birthdays." I'm like,
Just get me a candle.
Just get a candle.
So easy.
Just get me a candle. But I also I'm obsessed with I have lots of candles because I'm a florist, so I can justify it. But I even like a candle in a vase, you know? I just want candles everywhere. I'd rather put candles on than the big light.
Oh God, yeah. Especially this time of year, you want to embrace a bit of hygge, don't you? And
Witchy.
make it all nice and witchy and cozy.
Yeah, that's what I'm about.
Gorgeous.
You would have absolutely loved our wedding setup. We had 3,000 candles.
Oh my God.
We covered it. Was so
Oh my
excessive, but
God.
we covered the whole floor. Of
As
the
your
venue.
florist, I would hate that.
Yeah,
But as a person, I'm loving that for you.
I know. But they definitely
Going
weren't
round
dictating-
lighting 3,000. Yeah, they're not dictating. They're IKEA's pillar candles.
Yeah.
Leanne, what do you do?
So mine is flowers.
Oh,
I go to New Covent Garden Market.
Do you?
I get up.
What time do you get there?
Well, on a Saturday morning, I get there for 7.
Well
Wow,
done. That's pretty
Saturday.
good.
I give myself a budget. So usually you think flowers quite expensive, but here it's the whole set. You're doing it market style,
Yeah.
which I
Worth
love,
it.
and I'm haggling them down, so it's part of it. And then I basically choose my flowers. I drive home, put True Crime podcast on.
Oh,
Gosh.
That is
Love.
my vibe to a T. And then, I arrange the flowers. If you saw them, you'd be like, I don't know if they're up to your standard.
You're giving it a go, and that's the most important thing.
Giving it a go, and then that's kind of I don't know, an hour and a half on a Saturday morning that I give myself, and it feels like a real treat, and in my mind that is kind of helping me to slow
Switch
down.
off.
Yeah. How lush. I love buying flowers for myself, actually. It feels
It's-
quite
yeah,
empowering.
such a treat.
It is empowering.
Yeah.
It's
And why wait for someone else to buy them for you?
Yeah.
I mean, my boyfriend won't take the hint. honestly.
Maybe now he will.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think he will, because I've literally said to him, verbatim, just buy me some flowers. It's such an easy win. But
He'll
he's
be
just,
like, but you know what you like.
Yeah, that classic.
He does know what I like.
What about you, Polly? What do you like doing at the moment?
Well, I just love getting home. This is what actually Emma, our fashion editor, said, that she just gets straight home and puts her tracksuit on.
yeah.
And I was just
Barely
like,
in the
yes,
door, and
that's
it's
exactly
like
what I
the
do
clothes are coming
too. I don't know. I love obviously getting dressed up, things like this. But as soon as I get in the door, these are coming off, jewelry's coming off.
Straight in.
Straight in. I've got a really good tracksuit from navy grey that
I love
arrived
this.
maybe a month ago. And when I say I've barely taken it off, it's so soft and it's washed really well. It's just so cozy, and I feel really good in it. So if you're looking for a good tracksuit for this time of year, invest in that one. It's hella good. But otherwise, I also love, on a Friday, I'll usually go to a gym class in the morning, and then on my way home, I'll just go and get a little coffee and a croissant.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's a simple one, but it's the idea of not making my own coffee.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the little treat, basically undoing all of my
Your hard
Balance,
work.
balance.
I think
Yeah,
I'm doing that a
balance
bit too much. That's not
Yeah.
that's not a Friday treat.
I know. That's breakfast. Yeah, I feel like I tell myself I deserve a treat every day. Even though I've not really done anything to warrant it.
I'm the same every day.
Yeah.
Any minor inconvenience, I need a treat.
Literally, yeah.
I need a treat.
I've done a good job today. I need a treat.
I used to do that. I used to have an obsession with doing that with Pret's lemon cheesecake. I was like, whenever anything went wrong at work, I was like, I'm just going to go get a lemon cheesecake. So I'm just going to get one. And then I was having one every day.
You do what you've got to do to get through the day, right?
Absolutely.
It's hard work in this. Loads of great treat inspo there, and I love that you're both as into it as I am. Next up, Charlotte chats to Grace Beverley, founder of not just one, but 4 businesses, about life lessons, motivation, tips for success. It's well worth a watch.
Grace Beverley needs little introduction. A podcast star in her own right, the host of Working Hard, Hardly Working is also the founder of Tala, a fashion brand she launched aged just 22, raising £10 million of investment since its inception. Today, she's here to talk about her business journey from influencer to entrepreneur, how her own podcast has helped her grow, and her latest launch, an AI talent agency, Retrograde. Welcome, Grace.
Thank you so much.
So nice to have you. We've got a lot to get through. There's a lot of chat here. Let's start with business and your business journey. For those who don't know, can you give me like a really potted version of your journey?
I started my first business in my first year of university. It took a long time to evolve from that though, and the business has come a long way in lots of different iterations since then. Like, it's one of the most evolving businesses I've ever seen, and that's part of that journey. Then started my second business, Tala, in my final year at university. I started my third business, The Productivity Method, about 2 years ago now, and then I just launched my last company, Retrograde. We have been working on that since about November last year. We launched to the public this July, but yeah, really exciting.
Lots of fingers and lots of pies. If you had to distill it down to the one piece of advice, the biggest business lesson you've learned, what would it be?
That good product is the best marketing. The best way to do that is to make sure that your product or service is problem solving for the customer. Because if your customer is deciding to part from their money for whatever reason, it is because they believe it is going to make their life better in some way. And I think we can see that in a lot of the most successful companies at the moment too. I think it's really clear that they're just trying to solve a problem for their customers.
Who are those companies? Who do you look at and think, wow, they're nailing it?
UK-based ones, I would say, I think Refi is doing that incredibly well. It's a very strong concept. Their tagline was redefining beauty and is now simplifying beauty. And I think that's a really clear understanding of the customer.
So we ran a cover story with Molly May last week, and when we asked Molly what businesses she admired and who she admired, she said you and Jess Hunt of Refi. And so there's obviously a really nice kind of sisterhood of kind of women who might have started as influencers and have gone on to create your own businesses. What have you learned from others doing that? So, not just specifically Jess, but kind of what has that journey that you've all been on taught you about business? With
women especially, we as a culture really do create this kind of understanding that there is only space for a few people. Like, it's almost assumed that things must be in competition with one another.
It's called scarcity culture.
Yeah, it's very much like there's not enough space, and therefore there must be one influencer who becomes a businesswoman, and there must be one person who does this. Actually, that's so not the case. It's definitely not the case within the female founder space. Like, beyond kind of founders who are influencers, people are so welcoming and helpful and will literally reach out and be like, oh, you should actually use this lawyer for this, or you should use this, or whatever it might be. And I think that the more we can each individually take away from that and like take air out of that, the better. Being a female founder, we already only get 2% of venture capital funding on the best year ever. Like, the worst thing we can do is now be like, right, so that's going to be me as the 2%, and I'm going to take all of you guys down. Yeah. Like, it just doesn't make sense at all.
It's toxic. Tell me about fundraising. You know, typically we hear from women about kind of walking into rooms of men in suits who don't get it. What was your experience of, I mean, 10 million's a lot of money, so how, I know it was across a few stages, but what was that process like?
Fundraising is horrible. Complete transparency. You're fighting for intros, you're fighting to kind of get your foot in the door and to even get a meeting. And then you go in and you kind of basically defend rigorously each part of the business, talk to them about the term sheets, which are basically the offers, and then you'll usually go into exclusivity with one of them. But in that point, you basically go into due diligence, which is not just checking every single bank statement, every single figure, every single part of the analytics of the business, but actually all of your forecasting for the next 3 years to the penny. That's like, have you thought about this specific number for the past 3 years and for the next 3 years? And you go, no, but I'd love to this evening.
Yeah, I will do that at midnight, thanks.
That's actually what I was hoping to do before bed, so don't you worry. I think it's quite deliberately gatekept, or at least just not talked about, because it is still this old boys club. As I said, 2% of venture capital funding worldwide goes to female funding.
And did it feel like that? Were you approaching men and male environments?
Lots of rooms are full of only men. I will say that. So they're more likely to go for things they know. For Retrograde, for example, I have 2 male co-founders, and I worked out that from going from just adding me to the founders takes the statistics of us raising funding down by, I think it's 85%.
Wow, that's wild.
By just adding one woman.
Because of your gender.
Actually adding a person, because there's no cap on how many co-founders you can have for anything. So by adding specifically one woman, it takes the likelihood that we'll ever raise venture capital funding down by 85%.
And a woman with your track record as well. Let's move on. I want to hear more about Retrograde and more about business, but let's talk about everything else going on. Health, wellness. You've got a lot on your plate. How do you wind down? What do you do to stay mentally calm?
I will say I'm a big stickler for routine. So I'm very hot on like finding a routine that really works for the type of lifestyle I want to have. So that's in terms of like the time I wake up or how much I'm working out. I design that routine based on what I think keeps me most mentally calm. And then if it doesn't anymore, I'll change that routine. Actually, most of the time when I feel like really frazzled, I'll be like, I haven't been sticking to that. Like I've been letting that, give an inch, take a mile.
Productivity is obviously a big theme for you. What is, I know you've got quite a lot of this out there, but what's your number one tip for productivity?
Never writing a normal to-do list. Well, I've always split it into 3 parts. So things that take under 5 minutes, things that take 5 to 30 minutes, and things that take 30 minutes plus. Where a lot of overwhelm comes from is a mismatch of expectation versus reality when it comes to your day. Like if you think that you're going to get everything on your to-do list done that day, and actually if you'd split it down into 3 and you'd written out all of your meetings today, you would have seen that actually you've got 12 hours of work on top of that, and that's never gonna get done. It also makes you a much better team member, because if you can go like, well, I have 10 priorities, like 5 of these are gonna have to go today, you can at least like stakeholder management. Everyone's in the loop, you don't feel overwhelmed, you're still productive, but you're not like setting yourself up for failure.
I really like when you're able to say to your team, just FYI, I'm not going to get this done for 3 days. Like it feels so much better than when you're in that cycle of, I'm gonna do it. It's easy just to be like, it's not happening.
But that type of communication is so important, and I would always much rather someone be able to do that than say, actually, I'm going to get this all done. And then I'm like, I know you're not. And then you also don't. And then we're all upset.
Yeah, no one wins. What's your guilty pleasure?
I mean, I'd have to say pick and mix, because I'm a pick and mix addict.
Which ones?
All of it. That's why it's
No, that's
pick and
what, no, you
mix.
must. No, but sorry, everybody's got preferences within pick and mix.
Well, I go for generally like reds and purples. It's like
I'm just into foam. And licorice. That would be my combo. Yeah.
We are so incompatible. Or maybe really
well, no, actually
compatible.
really compatible. Yeah.
No, that's perfect.
You have
I would
the rest.
actually say that's one thing about my fiance, is that he likes the citrusy colours, and I like it was just at that moment that I thought we should probably get married.
When you share fruit pastels.
Yeah, exactly. And there's none of them are left, and we're both really happy, and no one's fallen out.
That is compatibility at its core.
Thank you. That's why you should get married. Take it from me.
Noted. Let's talk about Retrograde. What is it? Can you explain it a bit?
The whole idea behind it was basically thought up by my co-founder Jake. The creator industry is now like 15 plus years old, and it hasn't changed a lot in terms of how influencers or creators make money. So basically it started out as these, I guess, celebrity style influencers, like the kind of Zoella and Pixie Woo, and like it was very, if you were making money, you were a big creator. And it's really grown since then in the way that there are now millions of creators. Like the way we manage them hasn't changed. So this Jake's friend was essentially finding that certain things were missed, or deals weren't coming through, or whatever it might be, and he built basically an AI that goes into her inbox, and every deal that would come in, it would text her with a breakdown of what the deal was, like what the kind of deliverables were, the fee, all of that. And he called me up and said, like, as a creator, am I onto something here? And I was like, yes, absolutely. It's just a space that needs to change. Like there are too many creators now for there to be enough good agents to cover them, essentially. If I get a brand deal come in for £1,000, for example, that £1,000 means a lot to that creator. But if that agent has another thing coming at the same time, and it's a £10,000 deal for one of the other 10 to 15 people they're managing, which is a lot of the time, then that's going to be...
That's the priority, of course.
It's going to be a priority. But essentially what that's meaning is that there are a lot of people who aren't being served well within the industry. And what we really want to do with Retrograde is just mean that creators can be making what they should be making from their work, even in the talent agency world as well. And so the whole idea of Retrograde is essentially end-to-end deal management. So you'll have your Retrograde email, a brand will reach out, it will come into your inbox, it will text you with a full breakdown. You say, no, I won't take that, I'll take $2,000. It will go back and negotiate, we'll get to a sticking point, you make the decision, then it will go through the full process so that you can actually do what you do best, which is creating.
Yeah, and people are, we chatted about this before, didn't we? People are obviously scared of AI, there's a reticence around it, but I mean, you are creating jobs by creating this AI, right?
You know, it's absolutely incredibly important to have solid parameters, and, you know, there'll be a lot over the next few years in terms of how we develop guidelines around these things as a country and as a world, but I think it's really exciting too. It just, you know, we need to be using it effectively and properly, and one of the best applications of AI is basically helping humans to be better at what they're already doing. I think one of the best quotes I've heard, and this was from the head of Google in the UK, and she said, your job's not going to be taken by AI, it's going to be taken by someone using AI better than you are. And I think that is very profound.
I love that quote, so good. You've got lots going on. What's the grand vision?
Ultimately, I'm happy if each time our customer interacts with or buys from us, it improves that problem that they are facing in their day. The people in the teams at these companies have worked so incredibly hard to grow them, to get the product better and better, to get them exactly where, you know, they need to be. And so I really want them to reach their full potential. And I'm not completely set on exactly what that is, because I think it's important to be flexible in that as well.
And for you, one way that you want to evolve as a boss, a leader, a founder in the next few years?
I'm really concentrated at the moment in making sure that I am spending time doing what I should be doing within the business. I think one of the hardest things about being a founder is knowing when stepping away from something is like negligent or when it's important for the business's growth because people need their own autonomy. And I think that's such a defining part of being a founder. But I think ultimately that it's just, you know, you never really know the right answer. You always just try and do your best.
Only do what only you can do is the motto that I try to.
I know, but do you know what's really hard to define is what only you can do, because you're always going to have your founder's view on something. So then by definition, you should only do everything.
You should be the only employee and that's it.
But like you should be seeing everything because only you are going to see that in the way the founder sees that. And ultimately, yes, ideally you would have 40 people who also do that, but a lot of that will be preference. But it's a journey and I don't always get it right. In fact, I probably get it wrong more than I get it right. But understanding how to rectify that and being transparent, I feel like is important.
Work in progress.
Yes.
Grace, where can people find you? Do you want to give a plug to every website? Go on, where do we find Tala?
So you find Tala at wearetala.com or wearetala on all socials. Shreddy, just as Shreddy, with a Y, .com and socials. Retrograde is Get Retrograde. The productivity method is the productivity method. And I am Grace Beverley with an L-E-Y.
There you go.
Not
you heard
a
it
Y.
here. Not just a Y. Thank you
Just
so
a
much.
Y.
Not just a Y. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for
lovely to
having
have you.
me.
Thank you.
Wow, what an impressive person. Love that. What won't she do next is probably the best question. Next up, let's chat a bit about some recent adds to basket. We love a bit of product on this show, so tell me, what are the last 3 things that you've been buying, whether it's fashion, food, beauty, homeware? Kasia, I'll come to you first.
I have bought, we were just talking about tracksuits. I've just bought Ganni tracksuit bottoms. Ganni do really good loungewear. And I bought this brown tracksuit like 4 years ago. It washes amazing. It just still retains, you know, when it's still like tracksuits still retain their quality. So I've just bought a new one in black.
Love that.
And I've just also bought these pumps from Hush.
They're lovely.
They
They're
are
so
very
comfortable.
nice.
Sometimes, you know, when you try ballet flats for the first time, they're a bit like they rub.
Yeah.
But these are really nice. They're super, super comfy. I'm really into them.
Nice burgundy colour again as well.
Burgundy.
We love that.
Can't get enough of it. And also, they're quite strange. But I've just bought these like cabbage plates from Marks and Spencer.
Oh, so like the plate looks like a
You know
cabbage.
that cabbage
Yeah,
plate
cute.
trend?
Yeah.
The original ones are super, super expensive. I don't know who the designer is. Sorry, that sounds really bad.
No, but they are super expensive.
They're super expensive, and you can't just have one. So M&S have picked up on it. I've got this cabbage bowl and 2 cabbage plates. I'm so excited to use them and get
You
them
know,
out.
Arquette does
Arquette
that
do them.
aubergine.
I've seen that
yes.
too.
It's like an aubergine
Yes.
dish where you can lift the top
Yeah.
bit off, which I think is
It's really cool.
kind of fun as well.
Arquette do a version of them as well, but the M&S ones are a fab price point because it is a funny plate. Like, you're not going to be eating off that every night. So it's nice when you've got people round. So yeah,
Love that.
Marks and Sparks homeware.
I love a bit of M&S homeware.
Their
They've got some
homeware,
great stuff.
their
They
homeware
got
is
great
banging.
stuff.
Yeah,
Really great. During the pandemic, there was a Marks and Spencer's near me, and it was still open for the food, but they kept the homeware bit open. So every day I was like head to toe in anything from M&S. With the house was like covered in all random things from M&S. So I was like, I've just got to buy something.
It's
We didn't
so
have much.
good. Their homeware. I actually needed to buy some new vases for work and like bowls because we make a lot of our arrangements in bowls. And I intended to go to H&M Home in Westfield and they're refurbing it. So I was like, I'll just go into M&S. They had the coolest vases, coolest bowls. I spent a small fortune.
Yeah.
Love that.
So easy to just be like, oh, that's pretty cheap. I'll just have
Yeah,
one of
just
those.
keep it.
Well, you know it.
One of those.
But no,
Couple
really good
$150.
price points, really fab homeware. So I would definitely check it out if you want a little pick me up.
Oh, right. Yeah, I will be checking that out. Leanne, how about you?
Okay, I've got 3 things in my basket at the minute. One of them is a big silver puffer jacket from Rains.
Fun.
And I used to have a silver puffer jacket when I was really little. There's a really cute picture of me and my dad. I'm in this like blue sunglasses, silver puffer. And so it feels quite nostalgic.
Yeah.
And I love a pop of something in the winter when
Yeah.
it's like grey and
Dreary.
dreary and
Yeah.
everyone's in dark colours, and I just,
Yeah.
this is going to be my little pop of fun.
Yeah.
So that's in my basket. And I've got this, we've just been renovating our house actually, and I've started to look on Etsy for like little, just like little arty bits. So I've found these, they're like cherries, but they're mirrored. They're very cute. So you put them on the wall, it's like wall art, like a mirrored cherry.
Yeah.
That's in my basket because my husband isn't keen, so it's in there until he, you know,
Until you get round, until he just accepts that you're going to buy them.
until he
Yeah.
accepts. I was actually thinking, isn't it so funny? I don't know if you two do this, but I have so many things in my basket that kind of live in my basket, and then I get upset when they sell out.
Oh, and then I'm like, why didn't I just buy it in the first place?
Why didn't you just buy
Exactly.
it? Or it stays in the basket for so long that I never buy it because I'm bored of it already.
you're
And it's
over
like,
it.
but it was never mine.
I think it's also the thrill of just adding something to a basket.
Yeah,
That's
add
half
it to
of
the
it.
basket.
Yeah.
And then my third one is, it's Able and Cold, so it's like a kind of food delivery service, but it's like kind of, you get this organic seasonal fruit and veg box.
Yeah, I've heard of
And
them.
they can send you veg that you can make like a soup with.
Yeah.
And so they'll send you like a little recipe, and then it's all seasonal. And I just feel like when it gets colder and you don't want to go out as much and you can, it's easy to then, you know, you want your kind of hearty food. This is a really nice way of doing it with stuff that's kind of seasonal, gets you thinking a bit, gets you making some nice things. And I've done it the last couple of years, and it's kind of like my little winter treat to myself. Another treat. Love to treat myself. Love to treat myself.
Mine's a croissant, yours are vegetables. Mine's a cheesecake.
Seriously.
Holly's a croissant, yours is vegetables.
I really should start looking after myself.
Listen, I treat myself. I'm a big brownie girl. I'm still in the banana bread. This is why I didn't say it earlier, because I was like, I know it's so basic, but I do love a good banana bread still.
Hey,
There's nothing wrong with the banana bread.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So they're my my 3 things. What about you, Polly?
Mine are mostly fashion related because it seems to feel like all I think about. There's this cardigan I've just ordered from Cezanne. It's kind of like a similar shape to yours actually, like with a high neckline, but it's just, I mean, it sounds so boring, but it's grey, but it's like a really good shade of grey.
You can't beat a good grey cardigan.
I know, and I feel like my Pinterest feed at the moment is just grey cardigans laid out like under a suede jacket, and I just love that combo with like a little white tee popping out. I know it's so basic, but I just feel like it's a lovely autumn combo. So I think that's actually arriving today.
Nice.
So I'll be looking out for that. The second is this Reformation dress. I feel like Reformation do such good dresses, especially like, I don't know, I'm already thinking about party season, maybe a bit sort of prematurely, but it's like...
It's never too soon.
Yeah.
It's never too soon, and I feel like this one, like I'm not actually a big dresses girl generally, but this one is quite cool and it's got a bit of an edge to it. It's quite 80s, so like the bustier, so it's like a strapless number. And I'm just like, that with a big pair of like gold earrings, maybe with like a red lip, I just feel like that would be so good.
Ready.
She's ready for the party.
I literally, I'm like, somebody invite me to something because I need to wear a dress. And then my third thing, similar to you, Leanne, actually, with the Etsy vibe, I need some egg cups, quite niche. I love a little dippy egg and soldiers at this time of year.
Really?
Yeah,
obsessed.
I know, it's just such a comfort food.
I
and
love
like,
it.
It's mainly about the buttery soldiers, to be honest with you. That's like, and then I just have the eggs as kind of like making myself feel better about
And
that.
I salt and pepper the soldiers before you dunk them.
100%. But my friend India had this like gorgeous little egg cup and spoon set, which she got from Etsy, and I think it was like a vintage, like almost like, I don't know, I don't want to say Victorian maybe that's too early, but like, it's like silverware, imagine silverware, but it's like on a little like holder, and there's like 6 of them around it with a little spoon and little egg cups, and I was just like, that is so chic.
Yeah.
For something that shouldn't be that chic.
I think dippy eggs is like a little bit of like the whole process is quite satisfying, isn't it? So I feel like you've got to make an event of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I want a very basic meal, I'll make it a bit more fancy, because...
Chic
Again, a treat.
dippy eggs.
Yeah, chic dippy eggs. Anyway, well, ladies, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
Loved talking to you. You know, inspiring, fun, chatty. Yeah, so much fun. Let's all do it again soon. So that is it for today. Thank you so much to you guys, and of course to Nell and Grace. Next week, Charlotte is back with more great guests and fabulous content. In the meantime, we would love it if you could comment below, give us a thumbs up, and do subscribe if you haven't yet. Have a wonderful day wherever you are. Goodbye.